Hope you're having a good day. Got a Ficus microcarpa over a rock. The last time I did anything with this, I took the wire off and consequently just I didn't really prune, but just knocked off a few of the leaves while I did it. Kind of felt like the tree seemed a little weak. Been pushing it kind of hard this year, been repotted and wired and everything. And so I decided to just let it be a tree for a little while. But it's been a tree for long enough. It's been about 3 months. Recovered nicely. You can see the leaves are starting to come out pretty big on there. So it's just time to clean it up. I'm going to wire it too. While I'm working here, I've heard that a lot of people that move their trees in for the winter defoliate them just so that they don't lose all the leaves when they come in. Mine stay out all winter. And I'm not defoliating, I'm pruning and defoliating. But I do live here in the tropics. This tree's going to recover quite nicely. I have no worries about doing heavy work this time of year. Getting almost too late in the year where I would still do a repot. I've got a couple that I'm considering doing a repot before it gets too late. I always look at the weather. If it's going to be above 60 degrees at night for 10 or more days, I usually decide to go ahead and go with the repot. But I'm not doing that here, so I have no worries about doing this time of year. At the end of this video today, I'm going to pop in some new purchases I made today. I look forward to working on next spring. One of them I might even do a little work on here in the next few weeks. Alright, that leaves just the apex there. I did notice a couple of these branches were kind of coming straight down. Just, kind of trying to concentrate on keeping a decent apex. It'll be the most visible portion of it. It's an awful big chunk to leave sitting out to the side, but I don't have any other branches there. I don't want that much negative space, so I might just try to defoliate this one without hitting that growing tip, and then maybe, so I left that growing tip there. That'll be the first area to recover. If it recovers really quick, maybe it'll help grow out that little scar there. I might not even put any wire on that, just wire up the rest of the apex just a little bit. This branch looks pretty good. Got a couple coming right out of the top there. And then that part of the apex there is pretty much progressing like it should be. Alright, so we're ready for some wire. I'm going to anchor these two to each other, and then these two to each other. This one I'll catch when I get one of the secondary branches on this one. And then maybe when I get this, because that one will be the main branch with the other one, when I get this one I'll kind of maybe tie that in with the apex there, or one of the secondaries there. I'll just see what happens when I work my way up. I am going to try to get nearly every branch. This one I actually missed the last time, and you can just see it's one of the only ones that's like perfectly straight and kind of looking out of place. I got to make sure I at least get that one today or whatever, but it's actually a trident that I didn't catch when I was pruning. This is a trident too, meaning that anytime you're getting ramification, you really shouldn't allow 3 to come out of one spot. It should just be 2. So this one has 2 secondary branches to wire, so I'll do that with the smaller wire, and then I'll take this one, and actually I will include that with the apex there. I was wondering what I was going to anchor the apex with. And actually, not necessarily going to wire up the apex, I'm going to wire down that branch. I'll leave that one alone, I'll leave that one alone, and then that'll become the apex. that whole piece may come off. But for now, I'll leave it and just kind of make that decision some other day. I can always take it off some other time if I want to. So for now, just kind of put it back there in that place where I had the idea from or whatever. This is the one I had no wire on it. So just try to get a little movement in there. Of course, then that becomes a competing branch with that one. So I may just go ahead, take that one off. Try to spread that one away from the main one a little bit. Already had some decent little crooked movement in there. So I'll just try to make that a little more obvious, the movement. Keep the same movement it has, no sense in fighting over what it already had there. And then these two are also becoming kind of competing with each other. Again, this one I just took the same movement I had in the last time and just tried to kind of move it right back to where it was and put a little more, make it a little bit deeper than the movement was before. And I think that's good for today. Should look like a chia pet here in about a month and then grow slow over the whole winter. Hopefully I can just leave that on through the winter. Main reason I went to the nursery was they posted about some sea hibiscus they put up on clearance. And being a cheap guy like I am, it's my favorite way to get stuff. But so this was the thick one I got. I got one thicker one, and then one with some movement in the lower side. That'll be the next one I bring in. But I just don't really know anything about it. Did just a little preliminary research. I see that they do grow very fast, and I was thinking that maybe I'd have to fix this little straight up branch here, or you know, like this one too, or whatever. But I did also see that they take really thick cuttings really easily, and so just depending on, you know, how much I feel like experimenting, I might try to take the top off next spring, or even go just down as far as that and do that next spring. But I'd rather probably do it in stages, see if I can take the top off there and then go down from there. But we'll see what happens. Generally speaking, if I bring a tree home and work it right away, I found I've had bad luck with that, and much better luck with just bringing them home and letting them acclimate to their new home a little bit and everything. So this is the smaller sea hibiscus I picked up. I mainly got it just because it's got a little more movement down low here. Something I can probably use, maybe just like keeping it the way it is. These branches are all young enough where there's still like a little bit of flex. May put a little wire on that actually very soon. Not right now, I don't really have the time right this very second, but anyhow, that's the smaller one. I did, in my little bit of research too, I did see that these need repotting almost every year until they're like, you know, you've decided you're going to refine them or whatever. So should give me a bunch of stuff to fill my channel up with. And the next one I picked up, this is a rabbit's foot acacia. It actually seems, I mean, you know, obviously it's going to be very similar to my sweet acacia. The leaves look very similar. The thorns aren't quite as, well, let's just say obtrusive or mean or whatever you want to put it as the sweet acacia is. But you can see the branches, I mean, well, you guys can't see, I can feel. The branches are pretty brittle. Not really the easiest thing to wire. I was able to wire the sweet acacia when it had some really young tender branches, but the thorns on that one are really a killer. As I look at this, my thoughts are I might eliminate all of these lower branches and just try to keep a top here. Kind of looks, that's what they've been doing. It does, you can see where they recently pruned just the ends off here, probably if for anything just for room in the nursery. And then they are an apical plant, so everything is just kind of concentrated up here. But since it's so skinny now, just starting to develop some of the furrows on the trunk, starting to look a little bit older and everything, Again, I'll leave this thing till spring. And I mainly got it because I've had that sweet acacia now for 3 years. Of course, it was grown from seed. It hasn't bloomed yet. I understand that these rabbit foots ones bloom a little bit easier than the sweet acacia does. So, and the last of my new purchases today is a tamarind tree, which my Hispanic students tell me I'm pronouncing wrong all the time, but hard for me to pronounce it the right way. But anyway, it's another one with the compound leaves from the legume family. And I always kind of wanted to have one, and it's interested me. I want to try the fruit, and I'd like to try to grow one from seed. So again, I don't really want to start wiring it and chopping it or anything right now anyhow. You can see it's been chopped here from wherever this was pre-grown from. I'm going to guess probably from seed, I don't know. But I'm try to wait for it to fruit. Maybe it'll happen next year, but I'll leave it alone at least till spring, just till I can learn a little more about it or whatever. I haven't had one before.